So around the fall of 2019, I got into hydro dipping. And if you don't know what hydro dipping is, it's a process where you have like a bucket or a container of water and you put some paint on it, probably oil paint, and then you have something like an object and you dip it through the paint, but it's accumulated or leveled off at the top surface of the water. Anyways, you pass your object through that layer, and the paint sticks to the paint on the surface of the water. So I got into that around fall 2019, and I said, well, what could I do with this as far as like selling or, making something out of it. And over the next few months, I kind of did a lot of experimenting. I set up a little area a painting booth in my workroom in my house, and I bought lots of paint. I bought different materials. I got a lot of, I decided to experiment with the light switch cover plates because I wanted something cheap and economical that I could buy and use or paint on with this hydro dipping and be able to not spend money on like a phone case until I was ready. And so I did that for a while. I did lots of color combos. You usually want to do like several color combination for each object. So you do like maybe a blue, light green, and a pink. I did that. I did another color combo of orange, black, and neon green or light green. That was a cool color, and so forth. And so the object comes out when you take it out of the water and paint. It comes out with its totally unique design, unique to it. So I did the light switch covers, lots of those. I had like a gazillion light switch covers. I figured out I needed to stick them with a double-sided tape. I found foam tape worked best. And so I would stick the underside of the light switch cover to a paper cup or plastic cup, I believe, and that way I was able to hold the object and dip it in my container with the water and paint, and then set it somewhere to dry. So that was how I started, and then somewhere along the line I got into painting also phone cases, and some of those came out really wild with some amazing colors. I did this one for my dad, one of my best ones. It came with, it was like red and yellow and black. It looked like a volcano. I called it a Krakatoa, like the volcano. And my dad used it for many years afterwards on his phone. And so I did those. I tried to sell the light switch covers and phone cases. I did so, and people liked the phone cases. But what I had trouble with was I didn't know how to make a silicone layer to protect the paint. So once the paint was on there and I let it dry for a while, I didn't know how to seal it. I tried with resin and that kind of shattered. So that's where I kind of ended my time with hydro dipping around March or so of 2020. But it was a fun little project. I did, like I said, I put a number on Etsy of the light switch covers and phone cases. I sold a few. And the funny thing is now, if you have seen different companies come out with phone cases and other types of things with this hydro dipping marble effect that I'm guessing they probably printed or made somehow without actually hydro dipping, but I wish I could have gotten it out. And the reason I stopped was around that time I got into making face masks, and I had my business around that time of 2020 that really took off for a while. But and then eventually in May of that year, I got sick and wasn't doing anything at all for a while. So yeah, that's my story on hydro dipping. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Take care.